Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Dreaded D-Rose report. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Got something interesting here in just a few I'll read to you. First, a little bit of news. Former Shimmer star Rebecca Knox, who recently signed a developmental deal with WWE, noted on Twitter that she's headed from her native Ireland to Florida this week to begin her training with WWE. While Daniel Bryan and John Cena, the match is kind of set for the U.S. title to be, the WWE title has been discussed for, this year's SummerSlam, I guess, pay-per-view. There's also been talk of having a triple threat with Cena against Mark Henry and Ryback, which I think that'd be good. All right, and it's speculated, I don't know if you've seen it on the internet, that Nikki Bella may have been injured and after missing live weekend event that WWE's had. She was photographed in a wheelchair with her boyfriend John Cena last week, and Nikki posted a photo of herself working out in a gym on Sunday yesterday with the caption, "No wishing for it, gotta work for it." Sweating. Booker T should be returning to WWE TV soon after having elbow surgery. WWE Creative recently discussed his return as they may pick back up the storyline of Booker T versus Teddy Long's storyline and to keep it brewing for a while. So we'll have backstage hassles going on, I hope. And as noted before, WWE NXT creative Bob Naylor has left the company, but some tweets over the weekend, and Triple H replied, "Naylor, thank you to my NXT kids. Love you all. Now go do me proud and make take wrestling business to new heights. Humble, honored tonight." All right. Triple H said, "Thank you again, Paul." I said, it was a pleasure being on the ground floor. Great changes, made the developmental. And then Naylor finally said back, "Thank you for huge contributions. Like I said, let me know when you're ready. See you down the road. And thank you, Jiminy Cricket." Oh well. So I guess he's gone, but not. He may be back. Sounds like doors open. CM Punk has been added to Tuesday night's SmackDown taping in Topeka, Kansas. And Yoshi Tatsu celebrated his 4th anniversary with WWE on Sunday. He tweeted, "I won 4-year anniversary of my debut," as same as 4 years ago. "Thank you, Sioux City and all Yoshi armies in the world. Yoshi Army is the best." I didn't know there was a Yoshi Army. Hope they'll draft people. Sheamus also celebrated an anniversary of his WWE debut on Sunday. He tweeted, 4 years ago, yep, had me in WWE debuted 4 years ago. WWE years are counted like dog years, so I'm actually 28-ish. Oh well. Tonight's WWE Raw is taking place at the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City, Iowa. Confirmed for tonight's tag team match will be Darren Young, Titus O'Neil taking on Punk and Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel. So let's see how that works out. No other matches have been announced, but Triple H and Vince McMahon are scheduled to appear to further their storyline. And Ryback versus Cena and Tables match is being advertised locally. WWE's focusing on the following points for tonight. Will tag team victory smooth things out within Paul Heyman's circle? Will Mark Henry finally capture the title as it eluded him his entire career? And is the party coming to an end for Alberto? Will AJ Lee or Caitlyn, will they going to strike at next? And how will Kane respond to his loss to Randy Orton on SmackDown? Oh, by the way, Yoshi Tatsu turns 36 years old today. Darren Young tweeted the following about last night's primetime players versus Punk and Curtis Axel on Raw. He says, "Big night for real." He says, "Lock up, tag." They say some silly stuff on Twitter. I don't know why they even go on there and say anything. Just promoting tonight's match. In Demand has released the WWE SummerSlam poster that AJ Lee tweeted out last week, I guess. But this one features Dorito Jack logo as they are the main sponsor for the pay-per-view. All right, this is what I was getting ready to tell you. Thought you might be interested in this. I'd never heard this angle, this story before. not really an angle, this point of view. Sister-in-law of Chris Benoit, Sandra Tafroni, something like that, was interviewed by the 2counter.com about the tragic murder and suicide in 2007. Here's some of the highlights of it. Hang on with me. It's kind of interesting. This is from a relation point of view. They asked her about reports of Chris Benoit. His breakdown was caused by concussion syndrome. Well, she says, evidence show that on Sunday, before he committed to suicide, he was booking flights to get to the show that he was scheduled to appear in Beaumont, Texas. And this show shows that there was a moment, maybe a brief moment, that he thought he could get away with it. The two murders and then go do wrestling, I guess. It says, I don't believe it was brain damage theory. He says, she says, because he killed two people and believed he could go wrestle. The concussion theory doesn't really stick with me. Now, they also mentioned something about on Chris Benoit only having less than 10 months to live. I didn't hear anything about that. She says, yes, my brother-in-law had concussions. He hit his head for a living. I understand that, but way beyond that, he had very serious drug problem and steroid problem. Unfortunately, a lot of athletes, do even today. And it was spiraling out of control. The medical examiner told us after the autopsy that Chris was on his way to death within 10 months. His heart was enlarged and about 3 times normal size, and it was ready to blow up at any moment. And the effects that Eddie Guerrero and other wrestlers' deaths had on the Benoit family. Chris had suffered multiple losses of friends. Eddie Guerrero's death in 2005 shocked us all. No one was prepared for that. And it was devastating for Nancy, but it was devastating for Chris on a whole nother level. And Eddie's passing came after a long line of huge losses, and Chris was in the state of perpetual bereavement. The final blow came in mid-June 2007, just a few days before everything happened, when Sherry Martel passed away. And that devastated Nancy as much as Eddie's death did devastated Chris. Now, I hope they're not trying to blame Sherry for causing all of this. Man, that'd be awful. So anyway, the last thing that was asked, was Chris planning to leave WWE following Eddie Guerrero's death? She says, after Eddie's passing, Chris and Nancy discussed the possibility of Chris leaving WWE, starting up his own wrestling school, and as a matter of fact, it became more than just a possibility. The business owners, a business plan had been developed and merchandise even being designed. However, WWE prepared to give Chris a big push and put him into another championship match, so Chris began training harder and pushing his body even further. Chris did a lot of self-medicating. Kind of another way, to see maybe what went on there. Still don't know for a fact. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.